I wanted to talk about an op-ed I had in the Detroit News last week. It dealt with schools being open. This is an issue that I'm pretty passionate about. I'm a parent, and I know a lot of parents are very passionate about this issue. Uh, they want their kids in school, they want their kids learning, and I feel the exact same way. I get a lot of different associations or school groups that have been, reaching out to me or making public comments about how they'd like more flexibility. They'd like to be able to move to remote if needed. They'd like to be able to just have their school days that they've had off forgiven. We have right now our current statute says that schools need to be open for 180 days and they need to offer at least 1,098 hours of instruction. If they don't meet that requirement, well, then they're going to lose some funding because of that. That was something that was a big part of this budget agreement that we had this year was because we wanted kids to learn. We want to get our kids back to normal. So I am not going to support any type of flexibility or allowing school days to be forgiven or allowing schools to go remote. The rhetorical question I asked in that article was for these groups that support this policy is what's in the best interest of kids? I'm a firm believer in everything I've seen is kids do better when they're in the seats with a teacher right in front of them learning. I talked about a lot of different reasons, outside of what you'd normally think as to why it's good policy to have kids in school. The biggest one that people probably recognize is learning loss. In the state of Michigan, we've seen a lot of learning loss over the last couple years, and the data bears this out if you look at the test scores. So that's a big reason. Who's going to be the most impacted by allowing remote instruction or allowing school days to be forgiven? Those that are in the most disadvantaged communities are going to be the most impacted because those kids are already behind and they're going to continue to fall farther and farther behind. And this is going to have a big impact on their future opportunities. Another problem we're seeing in the state of Michigan right now and nationally is a huge increase in mental health issues, lots of increases with anxiety and depression amongst our kids. If we can get them back in a school environment, that's very helpful. You can also see developmental issues. If a teacher's in the classroom with a kid right there, they might catch something that they otherwise might not have. And when kids are younger, if you catch a developmental issue, you can get ahead of it and you can correct it a lot easier than you can someone who's older. So it's very important that we have the kids in there so they can be identified who needs the most help. Unfortunately right now, a lot of kids, the best nutritional meal they're going to have throughout the day is their school lunch. So if they're not in school, they might not be getting the best nutrition, and this is going to lead to a whole host of issues. You see nutrition is important to brain development. It's important to a lot of things. So just another reason why we should have kids in school. Probably one of the biggest challenges we have right now in the state of Michigan is a lack of people in the workforce. We don't have enough staffing at hospitals. Law enforcement community is desperate to get more people out on the streets. You name it. Any industry, they're short of people being able to work. And, parents use schools as childcare. It's actually the biggest form of childcare we have. And when parents are uncertain as to whether or not their kids are going to be in school, they're going to be quarantined, they're going to be home, where's the kid going to be? Well, this is driving people out of the workforce. They need certainty to be able to make that commitment to a job provider to be able to go out into the workforce. So it's a very, very crucial component for parents right now. So I'll summarize with this. I don't support allowing schools to move to virtual. I don't support just flat out forgiving days for that are going to be missed, that might be COVID related. I'll tell you what I do support. I support kids and I support in-person instruction. And I will continue to advocate in Lansing to make sure our schools remain open. So thank you and God bless.